Welcome home, neighbors.
Welcome home, neighbors.
Hello, neighbors.
We're listening from
Arizona,
Florida,
Maryland, New York, New Jersey,
Indianapolis,
California, Utah,
Michigan,
Iowa,
Massachusetts,
Georgia,
Canada,
Our home resort is
Animal Kingdom,
Polynesia,
Bay Lake Town,
Old Key West,
Riviera,
Boardwalk,
Alani Resort,
Hilton Head,
Boulder Ridge,
Copper Creek,
Grand Floridian,
Saratoga Springs,
Beach Club,
and Wilderness Lodge.
and you're listening to
and you're listening
You're listening
to
my
DVC
Points.
Hello and welcome to DVC Newscast. This is episode 121. I am Shannon. And joining me today, we got Pete.
Hey, Shannon.
And Sue.
Hi, Shannon. Hi, Pete.
So we have quite a few stories this week. They all kind of came up, I guess, over the last week. There's been a couple little stories, nothing news breaking, nothing riveting.
One of them's pretty big to me.
One of them is pretty, one of them is pretty big. We'll get to that one. But before we do, let's just give a shout out to our sponsor for this week's episode, and that is DVC Resale Market. So if you are maybe looking to purchase a DVC resale contract, or maybe you are looking to sell your contract, definitely hit up our friends at DVC Resale Market. They can help you out with everything. You know, they have great information for.
Yes. I'm pointing at Sue if anyone's watching it on the live feed.
If you are interested in and want to learn more about DVC resale, you can also, they have a great series called DVC Resale 101 that can teach you all about DVC. So definitely hit up our friends at DVC Resale Market, and you can call our friend Sue. So with that, we'll let you take the first story.
Well, the first story is kind of near and dear to my heart, and it's been a long time coming. They announced that EPCOT and Hollywood Studio trams are returning in September. Woohoo!
Yes.
I don't know about anybody else, but especially the EPCOT tram. It's when you're parking in that parking lot, walking all the way in, and then you're going to spend the day walking around. Getting out of there at night and having to walk to your car, not too much fun. So under the category of It's About Time, Disney has announced that the parking trams in EPCOT and Hollywood Studios parking lots will resume starting sometime in September. They didn't give an exact date yet, but this is the first update that we've had on the parks and the trams in quite some time. It was originally announced in December of 2021 that all parking trams would be returned, quote, by the end of 2022, unquote. Guess that didn't happen. And while the Magic Kingdom has resumed around Christmas and the Animal Kingdom started back in May of 22, nothing was done with the other two parks until now. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm really looking forward, especially to the one over at EPCOT. And I just feel bad when I go to the parks and I see people who are in wheelchairs or in walkers, and they're walking from their cars all the way into that park. And then they have to walk around the park and then back out to their cars at the end. So It's about time.
Oh, absolutely. And that's sometimes when the parking's really bad and we get there and they give us we've literally driven around and paid the extra $25 for the preferred. I mean, we have done that because depending on, sometimes it's the last time we went to EPCOT, we got there around noon on our last day out, and our parking was not bad at all. It was fairly close to where the preferred was. And then other times it can be like almost like you're at a different park. So it is about time for sure.
Yeah, I can't believe it's been this long, especially at EPCOT. Hollywood Studios, well, when we do Hollywood Studios, we normally rope drop it. And if we're driving, we usually are within like the first few rows. So it's not really too bad a walk. But generally that parking lot is not that bad. But EPCOT is huge, and you never know where they're going to put you. I wish I was a little more excited because we're going to be there at the beginning of September. And I don't know if I'm going to actually have the trams there. We're staying off property, so I would really, really like that EPCOT tram back. So we'll see. We'll see if it does show up at the beginning of the month. I've saw somewhere that they've already staged the trams at EPCOT. So hopefully that means it's going to be pretty soon.
You're there Labor Day weekend. So that's when they really need to start it, because the rest of September does tend to be kind of slow, because everybody's in school. So that's when they need it is Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's good. At least they gave us a month. They gave us a month. It wasn't like sometime in fall,
Right. But like you can't get closer. I mean, it's a week away. You can't get closer than the month. Disney, they'll drop it the day of. They'll say, "Oh, look, the trams are back."
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the trams are coming back, but Shannon, something else is going to be closing.
Well,
for a
and that's
while?
what I was going to say. So usually they don't give you any sort of warning, especially for
Right.
refurbishments. This next one, this is how it should be done. This is how refurbishments should be done. And that is that Stormalong Bay is going to be closing for refurb in 2025. So in an effort to continually enhance the guest experience, we refresh our offerings from time to time. And this is from Disney, obviously. From January 2025 through May 2025, Stormalong Bay and Shipwreck Pool at Disney's Yacht and Beach Club resorts will be closed for routine maintenance. During this time, guests of Disney's Yacht Club and Beach Club resorts are welcome to swim at the Tidal, Admiral, and Dunes Cove leisure pools. So, I mean, this is more than the 11th month window for people booking, because I know we had booked, and now obviously ours was closed because of COVID. When they reopened the resorts, we had a pre-planned booked stay that was supposed to be a staycation at Beach Club Resort to specifically use the pool, and then the pool didn't reopen. Now, obviously, that was unforeseen because it was due to the shutdown, and it was the only pool that wasn't reopened, but it changed our plans. Now, if you are booking Beach Club Resort, know that Stormalong Bay is not going to be available. I will say this may make it easier if you are someone like us that don't necessarily use the pool all that much, or it's not a big part of your stay, but going to the parks is. This might be your opportunity to get into Beach Club at the 7 months mark.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking, boy, January through May of 2025 will be a record easiness for getting into Beach Club.
I still don't think it's going to be easy, but it will be easier.
Well, I think you could definitely see 7-month availability, though.
Oh, for sure. And I think
definitely.
especially for 1 bedroom and two bedrooms, for sure.
Correct.
A lot of times there's on the 7-month, but I guess what I'm saying is, like, it could last a few days. It might not be, it might not be instantly gone like it would be normally. That pretty much, if you even at less popular times, if you want to book at Beach Club, you're going to be having to get in right at 7 months, just about. So even for a 1-bedroom, I was trying to look at the map and figure out, because they named the pools. Right. And other than Stormalong Bay, I don't know the names of the pools at Beach Club, but there are only 3 quiet pools. There's the DVC pool, there's one at Beach Club, and there's one at Yacht Club. So I assume what they're saying by saying the Tidal, Admiral, and Dunes Cove leisure pools, it's all 3 leisure pools, including the DVC pool. I guess the one point of this is, if you're a person that like doesn't care about Stormalong Bay but likes to use the DVC pool, that may have a lot more people at it, because one nice thing about the Beach Club leisure pool is anytime I've been there, it's very empty.
Right.
Because everybody's going to Stormalong Bay, especially with their kids.
Yeah, totally. Again, I think it's good that they gave us this much of a warning.
Especially around that time of year, because you're looking at the week break for not just spring break, but you have in February for Mardi Gras. You always have a week off in Louisiana. And so that's when we see a high number of our DVC members from that area that come in.
There's a ton, because you get the Northeastern break, which is right around President's Day week. You got the Canada break, which is usually mid-March. Most of Canada has a week off then. So a ton of Canadians come down. And then, of course, Easter, or all 4 of those, including the Mardi Gras, are during that time. So, yeah, definitely folks should be planning accordingly. If a pool is a big part of your stay, you may want to avoid Beach Club.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So that to me was the big story. When I said at the beginning, the big story, because that's kind of a big deal.
And it affects DVC directly.
Right.
Well, yes, that's true. It just affects DVC members directly. This one does too, though. Disneyland changing early entry hotel benefit in 2024. And it's going to affect more members than it used to, because you used to only have the Grand Californian, and now we have the Disneyland Hotel as well. That will be open by this point. But starting January 9th of 2024, only one park will have early entry for hotel guests, with guests being allowed 30 minutes early entry into one of either Disneyland or California Adventure each day. Currently, as of today and through January 8th, I guess, both parks are open every day for early entry, 30 minutes early. This change is a return to the way the benefit worked pre-pandemic. If you were staying there before, I guess what would be before 2020, so in 2019, that's how it would work. You would have one park per day to choose from. It usually alternated. For the most part, I think they did it such that Disneyland had 4 days and California Adventure had three. So I'm assuming they're going to do it the same way. I'm not sure why they expanded it, maybe because they weren't getting people coming down. They were trying to encourage people to stay at the resorts. But anyways, they're ending that. So if you are heading out there to the Disneyland hotel you just bought there, that might change how you do your entry. When we were out there, we would try to use the early entry because it's very advantageous from, trying to get a couple rides, even the half hour. You get, like, especially in Disneyland, if you want to do Fantasyland, because none of those rides have Genie Plus or whatever you want to. I think it's still called Genie Plus out there, right? If you jump right to the head of the line, everybody heads for Peter Pan first. So you get there early, you get on Peter Pan, then you get to Snow White or whatever, Mr. Toad's, and you're like you get the popular ones in that first half hour, and then suddenly you're ahead of the crowd and you can really get a lot of rides in. So I mean, this one, to me, it is what it is. It's not like they're taking it away. You still have that advantage.
And this is how it was before. We used this in 2019 when we went. When we went in 2021, we stayed off property. I thought it was fine in 2019, so I think it's fine.
And from the company standpoint, if you alternate like that, your operating costs are lower because you're not operating both parks at the same time. So, if that's what they have to do, but you're still going to get a great experience, I think it's great.
Yeah. And to me, it's so easy to hop at Disneyland that even if I don't want to spend, the whole day at Disney California Adventure, you could still go for that early entry. Ride for an hour or two, and then if you want to go back over to Disneyland, you go back over to Disneyland. It's not like in Florida. If they did that in Florida and today is EPCOT early morning, you're going to stay at EPCOT. You're not immediately going to another park.
So we do have some updates about Tiana's Place, and the menu was announced recently. Disney Parks blog has published new items coming to Tiana's Place restaurant opening on September 7th. So we have House Gumbo. It's a New Orleans staple combining braised chicken, andouille sausage, and heirloom rice. Seven Greens Gumbo. It's a plant-based option. Cajun spice half chicken. Muffaletta. Is that how it's pronounced?
Yep,
I think
muffaletta.
Muffaletta sandwich. Obviously, I've only been to New Orleans like once. Beef po' boy sandwich, Gulf shrimp and grits, and then house-filled beignet. All of this stuff I can't eat pretty much because I can't eat gluten, but it sounds good.
The one thing that bothered me was that they're going to like fill the beignets with something. And I'm like, no, you don't do that to beignets.
Right.
That's a donut then.
Right.
Yeah. It says features a delicious lemon icebox pie filling topped with lemon glaze for the perfect bite. Yeah.
That's not a beignet. Sorry, Disney. You should know better. You already serve beignets.
Right.
Other than that, it does sound like a pretty good menu.
Definitely.
I myself do enjoy Cajun food or New Orleans style food. It would definitely be someplace I'll check out.
And especially with the house gumbo and the muffaletta. The best ones I had were down in New Orleans. So I'm hoping that when I get out there, it'll be similar.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is having spent some time in New Orleans. I'm always like, oh, it's so good down. The food's so good down there.
Cafe du Monde with the beignets.
Not good for you.
Nothing is.
But it's very good.
Well, along with that, we have some menu changes coming to the Plaza Restaurant over at Magic Kingdom, and they have some significant changes according to the Disney food blog. They are removing a few items, and some of these might be some of your favorite items. For appetizers, the chili is being removed, the BLT salad, which I really liked, and the seared crab cakes will be removed. For entrees, they're taking away the Main Street burger, the sirloin steak salad, and unfortunately, the Plaza Reuben, which, I know, that's a boo. That's one of my favorite sandwiches there, and I think a lot of others feel the same way. Reading in some of the blogs when this came out, some of the people are up in arms wanting to ask them to bring that one back. But they have some really great new additions to the menu. Under appetizers, they're going to have onion rings along with a house salad. The entrees, they're having a pot roast stack. And when I read on that, it's like sourdough bread, mashed potatoes, pot roast, gravy, and some vegetables. So it's a big stack type of open-faced sandwich. They're going to have the crab cake sandwich. So instead of crab cakes, they'll have them as a sandwich, a bacon cheeseburger, and an Impossible chili burger, a triple-decker turkey club sandwich. And they had that once before, and that was really good. And a chicken Waldorf salad, which, my gosh, Waldorf salads, I haven't heard of a Waldorf salad in many, many years.
Yeah.
That was something that you used to find in some of the finer restaurants way back when. For desserts, they're going to have specialty milkshakes. So if you happen to not be a fan of just vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, they're going to have a chocolate pecan brownie, a strawberry shortcake, and a key lime milkshake as well, a chocolate layer cake and with caramel popcorn mousse on it, and a cotton candy cheesecake with fresh berries. It's a little bit different, and I like the idea of some of the different type of milkshakes to go along with it since they're right next to the ice cream parlor.
Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised for the most part. I agree with you. I'm a big fan of Reuben, so taking that off the menu doesn't make me happy, but the menu there has always been very thin.
Yeah.
You know,
limited,
not a lot of selections. And so seeing them expanding the selections overall, and, you know, they're taking away a burger, they're adding a burger, they're taking away a salad, they're adding a salad. The loaded fries, which they're known for, are still there.
Yeah.
So I think for the most part, the changes are positive. As I said, I'm not sure why they're taking away the Reuben, though. That's one of my favorite places, actually, in Magic Kingdom. It's hard to get into.
Right.
But if you get an ADR for it, if you're not on the dining plan, it's relatively low cost. You can eat for $20-25 per person, roughly, for your entree. Good food, good location. You know, Magic Kingdom tends to be, for sit down, it's either like really, really expensive or not all that good. So to have something that's both not expensive and good, it's a good choice.
I will say though, so I've never eaten the Plaza. A lot of the stuff I can't eat, and their allergy menu is very limiting.
Yeah.
So I've never eaten there, but we did have a great meal at Tony's. I know Tony's gets a bad rap, but every meal we get there has been better and better. And our meal in June was fantastic. And it was definitely a lot cheaper than their Roundup barbecue. But this all sounds great. They took off the cheeseburger to add a bacon cheeseburger. And that's a good choice. And bacon makes everything better.
Of course.
This is true.
And if you get the chili burger, you can always take your French fries and kind of drag them through the chili.
Well, it's Impossible chili, so I don't.
Yeah.
The one thing was the Impossible chili burger. Is it just Impossible chili, or is it Impossible burger with Impossible chili?
I think it's both.
Yeah,
that's a lot of Impossible.
Yeah. Definitely.
That's the person you don't want to be behind in a long line.
Oh yeah. On that note.
Now, Sue, have you been hitting the parks lately? I think that's it for stories, correct?
Right.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
No, I haven't had it. I mean, it's just been so hot.
It has been hot
to get out there that I just can't do it. I'm not a big fan of being overheated. But now with EPCOT bringing back the trams and Hollywood Studios, I might be able to hit up those parks very soon. Get
that neck fan from Amazon. It's amazing.
Okay.
You will thank me. And Pete, we know you're going next weekend. You excited? Is your daughter excited to see you guys?
I think she is. I am very excited to see her. It's been, 3+ months since I've seen her, which is about the longest I think I've ever not seen her is about 2 weeks. So my wife got to go down in July. She's seen her more recently. As it's getting close, it's like, okay, I'm ready. I want to see her. So yeah, I told her she's going to get a big hug when I get down there. So we're going to be down there. We're staying off property. I think I said this last episode. We have no plans. We have one dinner at Yachtsman booked, and that's it. We have no park passes yet. because we don't know what her schedule is yet.
Right.
And if she wants to go to the parks or not, she should be getting her schedule for the week we're down there tomorrow. So then we'll probably book the park passes after that. I'm very, very much like mellow on the whole park thing, because it's what Sue just said. Too hot.
Too hot.
Really too hot for me. Either come for the morning and leave, or wait till the evening.
Yeah.
Show up at 6 o'clock or something like that when it's the sun's starting to head down a little bit and it's not quite so bad. So that's probably what we'll do. I mean, we have annual passes, so it's not like we feel like we have to be in the parks for 10 hours or something like that. If we go for a couple hours, we're hoping to see some friends. Maybe we'll meet up with Sue.
Yeah.
And spend time with our daughter and a little bit of park time. We're not stressing this one out at all. So hopefully we'll just have a good time.
Yeah. Well, Disney Springs, that's where I've been, Shannon, is I've seen 3 movies in about 3 weeks because it's a great place to go, especially mid-morning. You go there and get into a nice air-conditioned theater and see a film. And I love with the AMC that you can pre-order your food and you put in what seat you're going to be in. You go and sit down in the movie theater and they deliver the food to you, your food and beverage.
We might do that. Yeah.
I'll tell you, it's great. And there's I saw the Haunted Mansion movie, which I really enjoyed because they actually, I mean, the props and the sets were just typical Haunted Mansion. It wasn't like the Eddie Murphy one. A couple of really good movies, and there's some more coming out. But when you get there was nobody around Disney Springs. Not until I'd say probably around 4 o'clock is when I started to see more people come in because it was just too hot.
Yeah.
So if you want to go there and eat, my gosh, the restaurants are wide open.
Yeah, we might do that one of the days she's working. We've seen a lot of movies this summer, probably the most movies I've seen in 10 years. I don't know how long. It's been a long time because we've seen 7 or 8 movies this summer. But we haven't seen Oppenheimer was the one I did want to see, and we haven't yet. So if that's still playing, that might be a good thing to go and see.
How about you, Shannon?
Well, we're going up next weekend, but we are going just to the party. So we got one night at Bay Lake Tower, which was great. And we'll go to the party Friday night. So September 1st, if anyone's going to the party and you see a little Oswald, the lucky rabbit, and a tall Hortensia the cat, that would be me.
Oh, nice. Hortensia. Nice.
Yeah. Nice. Except that it requires me to wear black long sleeves and black pants. Yes. Great costume for September in Florida.
Yeah.
If you see a Hortensia dripping with sweat, that would be me. So definitely say hi. Or if you are going to Universal, we will be moving to Universal. We're going to Universal for the rest of the weekend. So very excited. We haven't been to Universal in 3 years. The big question is Ryder tall enough for the Velocicoaster?
Got it.
He's going to be there. I am really hoping he's not. I am not ready for that as a mom. My husband is ready. I am not. We'll see.
Are you going to ride it, or are you just going to?
Oh, I love roller coaster. Yeah, I love roller coasters.
Okay.
I definitely want to ride it, but I don't know if I'm ready for him. I still hold onto his shoulders when he's in Space Mountain.
Okay.
Like I still hold. I have lost 2 magic bands because I'm holding onto his shoulders because I can't see him, so I have to feel him. I don't know if I can do that with Velocicoaster. Like I am just not.
Yeah, very much Velocicoaster. Follow the Big Thunder Mountain mantra of hang on to your hats and glasses because that one is a wild ride for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, Tron, it was fine. I was nervous, but after the first time we rode it, I think 4 times over the last trip. I was fine after the first one, but yeah, Velocicoaster, that's a different level. So I'm really hoping he's too short. But we'll see. We will see. So I'm excited. We're doing that. And then we're doing a Disney Halloween cruise 3 weeks later.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot. Before we go, I did want to give a shout out to our 3 sponsors, DVC Resale Market, DVC Rental Store, and Monera Financial for their continued support of the My DVC Points platform. And with that, I will say, see you real soon, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, please watch your head and step as you exit, and take small children by the hand.
Aw, chill up, Dad. You know I'll come back. With DVC.
My DVC Points is an unofficial Disney-inspired podcast created by fans of Disney Vacation Club. The thoughts expressed in this podcast are personal opinions and personal experiences. My DVC Points is not affiliated with Disney Vacation Club, the Walt Disney Companies, or any subsidiaries. We encourage listeners to contact their DVC guide or member services for official DVC policies.